Ask any Australian road train operator who ran trucks through the 1990s what engine they wanted under the bonnet, and the answer was almost always the same. The Cummins N14. 14 litres of inline 6-cylinder cast iron. 525 horsepower. 1,850 pound-feet of torque. An engine with a reputation for going a million miles before a rebuild and then going again. The engine that powered Australia's road trains through their golden era. Born from the 855 Big Cam, refined from fully mechanical injection into the Celect electronics that created the legendary red top, then killed by emissions laws in 2002. So why, more than 2 decades later, do the men who drove behind it still speak about the N14 like nothing Cummins built since has quite matched it? The foundation of the N14's design began with its direct predecessor, the Cummins 855 Big Cam. This 855 cubic inch inline 6 dominated the heavy-duty truck market through the 1970s and the early 1980s. Between 1975 and 1983, Cummins saw its heavy-duty market share climb from 29% to 63%, largely on the success of this single platform. The Big Cam name itself came from a physical increase in the camshaft diameter, which allowed for shorter injection duration and improved fuel efficiency. With a 5.5-inch bore and a 6-inch stroke, this 14-litre iron block was built to lug massive road train loads at low engine speeds, delivering high torque down in the lower RPM range. In the vast, isolated stretches of the Australian Outback, where help was often thousands of kilometres away, this low-revving, simple mechanical design was highly valued for its predictability. The N14 inherited this exact heavy-duty philosophy, carrying the same basic dimensions forward into a new era of performance. In 1987, Cummins introduced the N14, establishing it as a distinct platform while maintaining the heavy-duty foundations of the older 855. This new inline 6 featured a cast iron block and head. It retained the exact same oil pan and displacement geometry, including a 5.5-inch bore and a 6-inch stroke. This preserved the familiar 14-litre, 855 cubic inch size, but the design incorporated significant structural upgrades, including redesigned cylinder heads and strengthened internal components. Between 1987 and 1989, these early N14 units remained entirely mechanical. They used the Cummins pressure time injection system, known as PT, which relied on a gear-driven pump to supply fuel to cam-actuated unit injectors. The PT system regulated fuel metering through fuel line pressure and the physical timing of the camshaft, avoiding any need for electronic control. For road train operators pulling heavy loads across the Australian Outback, this mechanical design was a valuable asset. The lack of electronics meant that if a fuel issue occurred in a remote region, a driver could often perform field repairs or rebuild components on the roadside with basic hand tools. Offering power ratings ranging from 310 to 435 horsepower, these early mechanical N14 engines established a reputation for dependable service on long isolated hauls where self-reliance was essential. The purely mechanical era ended in 1990 when Cummins introduced Cummins electronic engine control, known as Celect. This design replaced mechanical fuel pressure with electronic unit injection. An electronic control module now regulated fuel metering with microsecond precision, managing the combustion process in real time as the truck climbed steep grades or hauled massive road trains across changing terrain. By 1995, Cummins updated this platform to Select Plus. This system introduced refined engine controls that improved fuel economy and added automotive-style cruise control, smoothing out the throttle response on long Outback highway stretches. The ultimate expression of this electronic evolution was the Red Top Select Plus. Painted in Cummins' signature red, this high-performance specification delivered 525 horsepower and 1,850 pound-feet of torque. True to its big cam heritage, this torque peaked low in the operating range at just 1,200 RPM, giving drivers the pulling power they needed right off the line, without constantly shifting gears. By the time this electronic platform reached full maturity, Cummins had placed more than 150,000 N14 engines into service worldwide, proving that electronic controls could handle the demands of heavy-duty transport. In the demanding world of Australian double and triple road trains, the Cummins N14 faced fierce competition from the Caterpillar 3406E and the Detroit Diesel Series 60. While these rival engines offered comparable horsepower, the N14 excelled where the tyres met the dirt. Its low-speed torque curve delivered maximum pulling power right off idle, allowing drivers to move heavily loaded combinations from a dead stop on the soft, uneven surfaces of unsealed Outback roadhouse parking bays without spinning the drive wheels. This low RPM performance made the engine a natural fit for Kenworth's heavy-duty truck chassis during the 1990s. Frequently specified in the rugged T900 and the conventional W900 models, the N14 earned its million-mile durability reputation through daily operation in extreme heat and choking dust. The platform's engineering evolution met two distinct needs in the remote interior. Fleets favoured the fuel efficiency of the electronic Celect versions, while owner-operators often chose the older, mechanical PT configuration for its simple field serviceability. If an engine encountered a fueling problem thousands of kilometres from the nearest workshop, a driver with basic hand tools could often perform roadside repairs and keep the cargo moving. This practical design kept road trains operational across isolated highway networks where a stranded truck meant serious danger. The last on-highway Cummins N14 rolled off the assembly line in October 2002, bringing a 15-year production run to a close. Tightening heavy-duty emissions standards forced this change. Meeting stricter limits for nitrogen oxide and particulate matter required a complete structural overhaul that the aging 14-litre block could not accommodate without a total redesign. Cummins began preparing for this shift in 1996, establishing the Apex development program to design a next-generation engine platform. The result of this development was the Signature 600, which later transitioned into the wider ISX family. This successor represented a completely new design rather than a basic upgrade of existing parts. The new architecture utilized dual overhead cams and an integrated fuel system module, with the Signature 600 producing 620 horsepower and 2,050 pound-feet of torque. By making electronic systems and dual cam configurations central features of the engine, Cummins transitioned away from the N14's mechanical heritage, establishing a different engineering path for modern heavy transport. Decades after the last factory unit shipped, hundreds of N14 engines built in the 1990s still haul freight across the Australian Outback. Keeping them operational today requires true dedication. Original components are hard to find, and mechanics with specialist N14 expertise are growing scarcer. Yet, a dedicated community of owners and restorers keeps the platform alive through shared knowledge and custom rebuilds. Ultimately, the engine's reputation survives on its exceptional balance of torque, fuel thriftiness, and reliability rather than sheer power. For generations of Outback drivers, the red top badge remains the ultimate symbol of highway confidence. If you ran an N14-powered road train, share your story in the comments. Subscribe for more Australian trucking history. Today, as modern electronic rigs distance drivers from the road, the N14 remains the perfect transition of mechanical toughness and digital control. It did not just pull road trains, It forged Australia's outback freight corridors. Did you drive an N14? Share your stories below. Subscribe for more heavy diesel history.